Okay, so joining us this morning to talk about the legal options for the victims in this is Jim Higgins. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Sure.
Okay, so options are a little limited because of something called the tort law. Can you explain briefly what that is?
Sure. So a few years ago, Tennessee in 2011, a lot of states went through this ordeal where they said, hey, generally under I guess the guise of medical malpractice, that we need to limit medical malpractice verdicts and jury verdicts. But when they did it in Tennessee, they did it just not for medical malpractice, but they did it for any type of case.
Oh, okay.
So every one of these families who lost a child or the child has brain injury or whatever, they're going to be limited to $750,000 in Tennessee.
That's the cap.
That's the cap.
Okay.
And so as this case goes through, you know, that's what's frustrating, I think, for these families when we have cases like this and you see these lawsuits being filed. People react different ways, as we all would when you have such a tragic loss. And I always, when we have families like that, I think they want answers. They want to know why it happened. They want to be part of keeping it from happening to someone else's family.
Yeah.
And so the only way to do that is to file these suits.
Let me ask you this, because we know that we've talked about legislation requiring seatbelts on school buses now. Do you see any anticipated legislative response in response to this?
Oh, I absolutely. You know, legislatures tend to react to a situation. It takes a tragedy like this, and everybody wants to do something, including the legislatures. And so they're going to search for those. Now, you know, they may say seatbelts are the answer, but then again, they're going to get into this and they're going to say that there are situations, just like you talked about, where a seatbelt could be a hindrance, and they're going to have to weigh and balance. And they'll look at this video and they will get crash investigators and they'll say, all right, what would have happened if seatbelts on here? Would it have saved these kids?
Right. Jim Higgins, we appreciate the perspective this morning. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, AJ.